everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. By the time you see this video, Sunshine Soap and Candle Company will be taking a short break, but I still wanted you to have some content to take a look at while we're away. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to make a shower gel. It's going to be much like the pink sugar crystals shower gel video that you all really liked, but I did take a few of your suggestions and comments, and I did make some little tweaks and changes to this recipe, just a variation of the pink sugar crystal shower gel that I think you're really going to like. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my full process step-by-step visual tutorial. But if you're interested in the full written recipe plus tutorial, please head on over to my Patreon campaign where you can unlock this recipe and tutorial for just a small $5 pledge. In fact, there's still so many recipes that you can unlock over there for just that one small $5 pledge. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description box below. Head on over there and check it out. Also, if you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please share this video with a friend, leave a comment in the comment box, and subscribe to my channel. All right, let's make some shower gel. All right, so after I posted the pink sugar crystals shower gel recipe, you guys had a bunch of questions about different ways you could tweak this recipe or add different things to it. So I did some experimenting and I came up with a variation of the formula that I think you're really gonna like. So the first thing I'm gonna do is weigh off my surfactants. So we are using a dry surfactant, just like last time, the sodium coco sulfate noodles. Now this is a plant-based surfactant made from coconuts, and it has a high foaming, nice bubble action to it. So this is why we're using this surfactant. And then the co-surfactant we're using today is the cocamidopropyl betaine. This is also derived from coconuts and from coconut oil, and it's got a lower pH. It's between about a 5 and a 6. So these two go together very nicely, as we learned in the last shower gel video. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and put on I've graduated to an actual dust mask. I just think it's really important to protect your airways if you're going to be using surfactants all the time, as I seem to have been doing lately. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my dust mask, and then we're going to weigh out the sodium coco sulfate noodles.
Okay, so I hope you can hear me. As you know, this does irritate the airways. So while it's still dry, we want to make sure and have a good dust mask on. So I'm going to be weighing it into here first, and then I'm going to be placing it in the crock pot. Okay, and then we're going to weigh out the cocamidopropyl betaine, and we're going to pour it right on top of the dry surfactants. And then I'm going to give this a good stir. And
Okay, and now I'm taking my dust mask back off. Once the surfactants are wetted down, you don't need a mask anymore. So my crock pot is already turned on high. So what I'm going to do this time versus last time is just see if I can get these surfactant noodles to start to melt down a little bit before I put in the water. So the next step here is we are going to be preparing the water for this recipe. So while those surfactants are heating up and kind of melting down, we are going to be making a tea. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to be infusing our water, which in the end is going to be an infusion of the shower gel. We're going to be infusing our water with chamomile flowers and also with marigold calendula petals. So marigold calendula is known for its anti-inflammatory and anti-redness properties. It's super calming for the skin. So it's a really good thing to add to all your skincare products. So here's what we're doing. We're just dumping some flowers in there. And also these beautiful calendula petals are going to make a nice natural yellow color to the shower gel. So we're not going to be adding any dye to this because we won't need to. It's going to have a nice natural yellow color. So I'm taking some chamomile flowers as well, and I'm just putting them in the water. So we're just going to be making a tea out of this. So I'm going to kind of leave this as is, and as it starts to warm up, I'm going to push the flowers down and make sure they get fully submerged into the water. And I'll bring you into the stove in just a little bit to show you what this looks like. So we're just heating up the surfactants, and we're going to start to make a tea, a calendula and chamomile infused water to go into our shower gel. Okay, so I wanted to give you an update here over the stove. So here I just have my makeshift double boiler going, and we're going to let these flower petals steep and infuse for about 20 minutes. And I'll bring you back when we're ready to strain off the flowers. All right, my flowers have been steeping now in the hot water for 20 minutes, and we're sitting at 140 degrees. So that's good because it'll help that surfactant matter kind of melt down a little bit quicker, hopefully. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna strain off the flowers. So I just have this pitcher with a wire mesh strainer over it. And I'm sure there's a better way to do this. I think you can buy big tea bags actually and make your own tea bag. And then you can just pull out the tea bag. Okay, so I'm just pouring it all into this pitcher. I'm letting it strain out. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and weigh off the amount of actual water that we need for this recipe. Let's go ahead and get my scale. Now, as you can see, my water is a deep golden color. So as it mixes with the surfactant, it will lighten up some. But right now it just looks like a nice honey color, which is great. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and weigh off the actual amount of water that we need here. So you want to make sure you're using more water in your tea blend than you actually need, because the flowers are going to absorb some of that water and you're going to lose some to evaporation. So you just want to make sure you're giving yourself enough water to work with. If not, you could just, if you run out of hot flower infused water, you could just add in more distilled or purified water. Okay, so then we're going to take this water and we're going to pour it over our surfactant matter. The surfactants now have been also melting down on high in my crock pot for 20 minutes. And as you can see, we've got a nice kind of melted down look. I don't see any of the noodles in their whole form anymore. So that's kind of what I was going for. And then when we pour the hot water in, it will start to break up the surfactant. And what we're trying to do is just dissolve all of this surfactant matter into the wildflower tea. So we're just going to slowly pour this hot tea over the surfactant. We're going to give it a slight stir. We're going to pick up any of the surfactant that might be stuck to the bottom here. And we're just going to allow this to dissolve. So I think this is going to go quicker than the pink shower gels video, the pink sugar crystals shower gel video. I think this is going to dissolve quicker just because we started to pre-melt down that surfactant. And the water that we added was hot. So I still think it's going to take quite a bit of time here. So I will time it and I'll actually tell you what the actual melt time is. So I'll bring you back when this is melted down. You want to make sure when you're doing this that you come in every few minutes and you just kind of stir the blend. It kind of helps to melt down the surfactants a little bit if you can come in every few minutes and just give it a little stir. But we're going to keep the lid on so we don't want to lose too much to evaporation. And I'll bring you back when this is all dissolved down. Okay, everybody, we're back, and this has been cooking now for a little over 2 hours. And I've been coming in every so often just to go ahead and give it a stir and kind of smash up that surfactant a little bit. And as you can see, there's still a little bit of undissolved surfactant matter here, but that's okay. What we're going to do is go ahead and add in our honey. We're adding in some honey and we're adding in some glycerin. Honey and glycerin, both of these combined, are going to add a really nice humectant quality to the soap, and the sugar from the honey is going to add a nice bubbly lather. It's going to help with that, and the glycerin is also going to help with viscosity and also with the bubbles, how long they last. Honey is a really, really good thing to add to your soaps and a lot of things in your skincare line. It's got, like I said, just powerful humectant properties. It's naturally antibacterial. So we're just going to go ahead and give that a stir and get that all incorporated in. And then I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to a different container before we add in our fragrance oil, just so you can see the color that we have now. You could just add the fragrance oil to this, but I'm going to go ahead and transfer it over, show you what that looks like. So this is just amazing because it's got the wildflowers and it's got honey in it. So those are some of the things you guys were asking me about, and I've come up with a nice formula here with those things added. So let me transfer this over and I'll bring you back before we add in the fragrance oil. Okay, so we've got this beautiful dark kind of brown amber color. I think it's really nice. It looks a lot like honey. So what we're going to do is go ahead and weigh out the fragrance oil. And I am using a beautiful fragrance oil called Golden Milk and Honey by Nature's Garden. And to me, it smells just like honeycomb. It smells just like honey dripping off of a honeycomb. And it's got a little bit of a slight spice note at the end of it. Really, really good. So as you can see, I've incorporated a lot of bubbles when I transferred it over, but we're going to go ahead and stir this in first. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Okay. we're going to get this all stirred up. I like to add the fragrance oil in when the mixture is still warm or hot, because it sort of absorbs the fragrance oil better, and if it's going to go cloudy with the fragrance, it tends to go clear faster. So you don't have to wait and see. Okay, so this is sitting right at 130 degrees, and we need this to be below 120 degrees to add in our preservative. So I'm going to wait for this to drop down in temperature, and then we'll be back to go ahead and add the preservative. All right, we're back to go ahead and add in the preservative now. We're sitting at right around 100 degrees. And it's funny because the soap, the color of it on camera is not what it really looks like in true life. It looks a little less dark and more kind of golden amber color. So we'll have to see how it looks when it gets poured into their little bottles. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and add in the preservative now. And we're adding in some liquid Germall Plus. This is a really good broad spectrum preservative that's great for liquid soaps. So we're going to go ahead and add it in. Okay. And then we're just going to give this a good stir. Just to get it all incorporated and immersed in. And we are actually going to wait to pour this into the bottle so I can show you the viscosity of this soap and how it looks after it's all the way set up. Of course, if you make this recipe a few times and you know what the viscosity is going to look like, you could pour it in more of its liquid state so it's easier to pour. But I'm going to wait because I do want to show you what it looks like when it reaches room temperature. It smells fantastic. All right, everybody, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I'm just gonna let this set up overnight and let it reach room temperature, let all those bubbles kind of settle and come out of there. And we'll go ahead and pour it into the bottles in the morning. All right, everybody, we're back to go ahead and bottle this up. It's been sitting overnight, and I do put an airtight lid over the soap while it sits. And I just wanted to show you this viscosity. It's just gorgeous, like it never gets old. I just absolutely love this formula just because it has such a great shower gel consistency. It's really, really good. So I did bottle one up last night as it was still cold, just to kind of get a good idea of the color that it was going to be when it was in the bottles. And by the way, if you wanted a lighter color, you could just use calendula petals or not infuse the water for as long. But I actually really like this color. It just looks like honey to me, or amber. Now I'm filling these up in these little 8-ounce Boston Round, but they actually hold about 10 ounces of shower gel. And there you have it. They're all bottled up, looking beautiful. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a lather demo so you can see how these work. All right, so you're just going to get your loofah, wet it down a little bit. Now this is going to have a very similar lather to the pink sugar crystals shower gel. With the infusion of the honey though, we're going to get that humectant feeling, and also the calendula and chamomile adds a nice soothing feel. Oh, it smells really good. It's making really gorgeous, beautiful, big bubbles. And the viscosity is really nice. Just really nice, big, copious bubbles that last a long time. They feel really soft. Really gorgeous. Overall, I'm super, super pleased with this formula. I hope you really like it as well. And if you did like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment or a question below. Subscribe to my channel and share this video with a friend. Catch you on the next video. Bye. Keep shining.